Hey everyone, Michael Hodge with Overcome Pelvic Pain. In this video, I'm going to share with you some of the most important tips that I can give anyone that's going through CPPS or pelvic floor dysfunction. I went through that for 5 years myself. I know what you're going through, and I want to help you as much as I can today. If you want to watch my story, there's a video in the description below, and you can watch that. So the first thing, start off each day with a stretching routine. You've got to start off your day as supple, as open, as relaxed as possible in the actual physical pelvic floor muscles, but also with your entire body, your mind, your psyche, and everything. Also, highly recommend that you do a meditation afterwards. This is so helpful because, as you know, your symptoms will get worse as the day progresses. And if you don't take the time out to give yourself a good baseline or a start point where you're more relaxed, it's going to make the whole day a lot harder. So I highly recommend doing stretching routines. Dr. Bree with FemFusion Fitness, we obviously have some here. Also, Overcome Pelvic Pain is a full 12-week program that Dr. Bree and I created together. It literally has a guided routine every week all the way through for the 12 weeks. I highly recommend that if you really want some help and you want to be fully guided in your healing process. The next thing I recommend is finding a good chiropractor because it's, first of all, really helpful for anyone, but if you have a situation such as yours right now, you might have a pelvic tilt. You might have a misalignment in your spine or in your neck, which is also in my case. So if you can find a chiropractor that takes x-rays at the beginning and then later on checks your progress with an x-ray, I highly recommend that. If you can't, it's still okay. But you have to realize that chronic pain is so connected to the nervous system. It's connected to how your brain's wiring and firing together. And you might have a misalignment. You might have a neural network or pathway that is being lodged or not fully open. So chiropractic care, a good chiropractor will realize the importance of making sure everything's in alignment, and that's going to literally make everything work better. I go to the chiropractor every 2 weeks just for preventative maintenance now, even though I don't have pelvic floor dysfunction. My kids go to the chiropractor for preventative maintenance, and it's highly recommended that you do this. The next tip I have is finding a good pelvic floor physical therapist. The physical therapist is going to help you to guide you through this entire healing journey. When you go to your visit, they can assess what's happening. They might find a trigger point. They're going to do manual stretching, manual massaging, body work, myofascial massage. They'll do some actual exercises with you, show you how to do exercises that will, relax everything and rebuild over time. And they might do other types of therapies or modalities with you. But a good physical therapist can help you, can guide you through this process, and it's something that is definitely recommended. Another thing I'd recommend is a TENS or microcurrent electrical stim machine. It's a little unit that has some nodes, and I would put them near my pelvis, on the backside, like on the buttocks, different places. And because my physical therapist, at the end of every session, she would put this electrical stim unit on me, right? And it was really relaxing. I would fall asleep often, and it totally knocks down the pain, and it's very beneficial. It's similar to some of the effects you would get from acupuncture. I also had acupuncture directly in the perineum and in other places where it's quite painful as it goes in, but that also helps to knock down pain. But I recommend this electrical stim unit or a microcurrent unit. And what I did is I bought one for my house, and I would just connect it up every night for like 30 minutes, turn it on while I'm watching TV or reading, and it really helped just to totally relax the muscles before I went to sleep. I'd have a more relaxing, restful night. Of course, in the morning, I'd wake up and do a stretching routine. So you're really putting yourself in a great place where your body can rest and repair much more easily. The next tip is to do an elimination diet. No one wants to hear this one, no one wants to do it, but it was so helpful for me, and I know it is for other people. I did the standard process 21-day cleanse. An elimination diet is pretty much where you pare it all back to just a couple of things. Well, for the one that I did, the first 10 days, it was just vegetables, water, herbal teas, fruit, and you take like fiber pills and some protein powders. What's happening though is you're totally cleaning out your body. All your organs are getting a break. You're detoxing everything. So this is beneficial for any human body in the world, but if you have pelvic floor dysfunction, it's going to help clean it out. And what happens on days 11 through 21, you do add back in lean proteins, but this entire 21-day thing, and there are other types of elimination diets, this is just an example. You're not eating like processed foods and sugars and dairy and nuts and things that could potentially be very inflammatory, and you weren't even realizing it. So when you eliminate all that, and then you're on day 12 or something, you're like, whoa, like I don't even have pain today when I woke up. You know, like this is the first time in like a year that I haven't had pain when I woke up. I say that because that's what happened to me. It can help you realize that there's a connection, there's a nutritional connection happening. And so when you finish your elimination diet, you can slowly add things back in. You don't go back to like just eating fast food again or something like that. But you can add things back in and realize, whoa, that's actually what's creating issues. It's making this much worse whenever I have caffeine or alcohol or whatever. It could be there's a lot of variance in people's situations, but it's not going to hurt anything. And if you're on the floor in pain all the time, not wanting to do an elimination diet, it's something that I highly recommend doing. And the next tip is to clean up your diet. So diet is very connected to anything, any health, any element that you might be going through. But in this case, of course, I'm not going to say a specific diet that you should do, but eating a whole foods diet is going to be beneficial for you. The closer you can eat to the source of the actual food itself. Not eating boxed and prepackaged and processed foods and fast foods and all this junk that has a bunch of added additives and preservatives and a ton of sugar. That's not going to be helpful for your body right now. So the more you can eat to the source, if you can eat organic vegetables and fruits, and you can eat pasture-raised, grass-fed meats, and especially the more local you can get anything, the better it's going to be for your body. So it's not really that you have to have a specific diet. Maybe in your case you do need to do something specific, but the more you can eat whole, clean foods, the more healing it's going to be for your body, and you're not dependent upon these addictions you used to have to things like sugar or caffeine or alcohol even, or other things like that. And just as a good idea in general to also remove not so much sugar in your diet in general, like things like high fructose corn syrup, and you want to totally remove that stuff from your diet. Like, it's crazy though, because your body is so addicted to it now that when you eat something that isn't really sweet, for example, you're like, what is this? Like, it doesn't have any taste to it. And now, like for my example, if I eat something that has high fructose corn syrup in it now, it would like really taste bad to me. So there is a changing of things in your body that are beneficial, and they really help you continue on with a healthy diet. So I know everyone's already told you this, but I got to tell it to you again, which is removing stress from your body. Because if your body is in a state, the fight or flight state, the sympathetic nervous system is activated most of the time. It's not in a place where it has the energy or the ability to repair and rejuvenate. It's sending all energy outward in a defensive mechanism almost to protect yourself. And so your body doesn't always know if there's actually a lion attacking you, or if it's just you being stressed out because you're at work or because of emotional situations that you're going through. CPPS and this whole situation that you have right now, it is hard to find the exact root cause. It's not like you fell off of a ladder and you broke your clavicle. You're like, oh yeah, it's because of the force of the impact from falling off of the ladder. This is one that has a lot of things that can kind of concoct together into a stew. And it could be trauma, it could be emotion, it could be a pelvic tilt, it could be a change in lifestyle, it could be a lot of things that lead to finally manifesting into this actual pelvic floor dysfunction situation that your body has. So the more you can de-stress, meaning not taking things so seriously or being in an environment where you think you have to be a certain way. It's like, I have to be at this job. It's 11 hours a day, and I can't stand the people I'm working with, and I have way too many things that I have to do, but I have to do it to make this much money to take care of my family. So if you're saying these have-tos all of the time, you really need to give yourself a moment to step back. It's very possible that you could be a freelancer, you could start your own business, that you could have a conversation with your boss with more confidence and say that you need to work from home. Things like this that could totally change your life and reduce stress from you. You need to have these conversations with your family, with your friends. Let them know if they're asking so much of you, and know, hey, I'm going to actually be taking some time off. I'm just going to be removing things from my schedule. I just want more open spaces in my day so I can go for a walk if I want, or read a book, or play with my kids, or whatever it is. So that's something that's going to help you to heal so much whenever you remove stress. And then you're going to start activating the parasympathetic nervous system, which allows your body to do what's natural, to heal itself and to bring it back into stasis. And it will be able to do that more. if you remove the things that were the blocks getting in the way of your own healing. And this last thing that I'll share is to give yourself some time and to be okay with how you are right now. This is really the secret that helped me to finally fully heal and overcome this. I mean, I was getting a lot better, but I still had pain and I was still having a lot of issues, even though they weren't as exacerbated, you could say. But what happened was, it was very paradoxical to me that I needed to kind of be like, it's okay for it to be like it is today. Because what I was doing, I was constantly picking at the scab, like, wow, this has been going on for 5 years. I did everything. I do everything I'm supposed to every day. I've purified my body. I do this, and it's still going on. So you're focusing on the fact that it hasn't gone away. You're focusing on the fact that you're not healed, and you're driving it too hard. You're like, I got to do this, and this every day on my to-do list. I've got to do this to heal, etc. So whenever you just are okay today, you're like, okay, I've got a plan. I'm going to do my stretching routine. I'm going to, eat healthy. I'm going to have a great day. I'm going to serve people. I'm going to have a lot of fun. And you just start enjoying life. Most people are like, I can't enjoy life. Like, I have pelvic floor dysfunction. I'm in pain. I have issues with my relationships, this and that. The more you can start moving into this, just like, this is how it is right now. It's okay to be here right now. And I'm going to do things that will allow me to be this new future version of myself who is pain-free, who is super powerful, healthy, active, and you, of course, are going to be leaning into this new version of yourself. And what's crazy is whenever you heal yourself of something such as this or anything else, there isn't a moment in time where you're like, oh yeah, I just healed myself of pelvic floor dysfunction. That doesn't happen. You just kind of keep going on with your day. It just atrophies. The old you just goes away. You're the new you that no longer has pelvic floor dysfunction. And maybe someday someone's like, they haven't seen in a while, is like, hey, you're okay? Like, how's your pelvic floor stuff if they knew about it? You're like, what do you, oh yeah, like I haven't even felt that in a long time. So that's really quite amazing. And I know that that's going to happen for you. So go ahead, you guys take these tips, actually take action on them, and remember the last tip especially. If you want to go all the way, and we have a 12-week program, Overcome Pelvic Pain. I created it along with Dr. Brianne Grogan. We wanted to take her clinical understanding of how to heal the body from a physical therapist perspective and also a holistic perspective, and actually use the stretching routines, strengthening routines, mindset, nutrition, all of that stuff. It's all in there. So I recommend the program if you'd like to do that with us. Otherwise, if you have any questions or any comments, looking forward to hearing about them. Take care.